And we begin with breaking news. A structure in South Phoenix engulfed in flames. Happening tonight, 7th Street and Broadway. You can see the firefight there. It happened about an hour ago. Luckily, the building was empty. Nobody was hurt. Crews quickly worked to battle that fire and put out those flames. Although we did see some flames in the area. There were some businesses nearby, also a church nearby, but those flames did not stretch to other buildings. So let's go out live to the scene, and you can see some of the damage and some of the mop-up that's still going on there. We don't yet know what caused the fire. Roads in the area are still blocked off because of all the fire apparatus in those roadways. So again, this is 7th Street and Broadway. We'll keep you updated online and on air as we continue to learn more about what happened here tonight. That is a shooting involving Phoenix police officers, and it ends with a man dead. Thank you for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Troy Hayden. Police tell us the man had a knife and came at officers when that shooting happened. Took place at a park in South Phoenix early this morning. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly joins us live now at Phoenix Police Headquarters. All right, break it down, Chase. What happened?
Troy, we're told all those shots were fired by officers. None of them were hurt, but this whole incident happened just before 1 o'clock this morning in a crowded neighborhood, and we were able to speak with some of those neighbors who said this whole situation just created real panic for them.
I remember the shot. I counted them.
Carolyn Lowry counted about 9 gunshots just outside her South Phoenix home near 20th Street and Southern Avenue.
I wanted to go to church, so I went to bed kind of early, laid on the couch. Everything was silent until I heard the shots go out.
When she went outside, she saw 2 police officers.
They talking about put the knife down and all of that.
Followed by a swarm of Phoenix police cruisers.
Then I looked over there and saw the man laying. I could tell that he was dead already. And when I saw that, I just started praying. That's all I could do.
The Phoenix Police Department tells us early Sunday morning, a 2-man squad was in the area investigating a man on a bike. When they tried to talk to him, they say he ran.
Officers began chasing after this individual.
Once they caught up to him and tried to detain him, police say the man resisted and turned into a struggle. When one of the officers says the man pulled out a knife.
And that's when the officer-involved shooting took place.
That man, who has not been identified at this time, was rushed to the hospital where he died.
It could have been my son, and I have people I love around here.
A shooting that has rattled this neighborhood.
It upset my day. My heart still ain't beating right, really.
Lowry says she's lived here for 60 years and has seen it change drastically, wishing this incident didn't end with someone dead.
We got to make a change somewhere. Something's got to give here. Something has got to give. We need more officers out here, caring officers.
Now, at this time, we don't know why Phoenix police were investigating the man on the bike, but we do know that the Arizona Department of Public Safety is now involved in this shooting investigation. Of course, we'll be keeping you updated as we learn more. For now, we're live in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Yeah, and you do feel, Chase, for that woman you spoke to and other people in the neighborhood. You know, she was just trying to go to sleep early to go to church today, and instead was dealing with this.
Exactly, and she just said, yeah, she was getting ready to go to bed when she heard the gunshots and came out to see all this commotion going just right outside her door, and that still continued into the afternoon today, saying that's just very concerning of what happened just right outside her door.
All right, Chase Golightly live for us in downtown Phoenix. Thank you, Chase. New at 10, a child who nearly drowned in a West Valley pool yesterday is now in stable condition. Police say the 3-year-old boy was pulled from a pool at a home in Avondale near 123rd Avenue in Thomas about 9:30 last night. The child is still undergoing medical evaluation, still no word on how long he was in the water or how he got in there. A Phoenix woman is killed in a shooting yesterday morning up in Payson. Police say it happened just before 10 a.m. right along the Beeline Highway near a Denny's restaurant there in Payson. 20-year-old Kiona Honani and 22-year-old Donald Nash were arguing inside an SUV when police say Nash pulled out a gun and shot her. She was taken to the hospital where she later died. 3 other people, including a 1-year-old child, also inside that car. Nash was arrested and now faces a host of charges, including second-degree murder. An update on yesterday's early morning shooting in Phoenix that left 2 men dead. This happened near 24th Street in Roosevelt. 28-year-old Malik Hopkins and 37-year-old Warren Middlebrooks. They were involved in some sort of a fight, and then a handgun and a knife were both pulled out. Police say this happened before 8 o'clock yesterday near 24th Street in Roosevelt. Hopkins was stabbed and shot. Middlebrooks was shot. Police believe the men were struggling over the same handgun and actually shot each other during that fight over it. Both men, again, later died. A motorcycle rider facing a long list of charges accused of getting into a fight with a Chandler police officer during a traffic stop in Tempe. The officer was working a DUI task force, tried to pull the rider over, but instead he took off. Short time later, they found him stopped at a traffic light. So the officer jumped out of his vehicle, tried to turn the bike off with the kill switch, but the rider slapped his hand away and the two began to fight right there. The officer fell and hit his head during that struggle, but backup arrived and took the rider into custody. That rider now facing charges of aggravated assault, unlawful flight, reckless driving, and resisting arrest. Catholic Church is working on big repairs after a car crashed into the building on Wednesday night. Holy Family Chaldean Church near 21st Avenue in Phelps and Phoenix says attendance at this morning's Mass was definitely down. Normally they see about 500 people there, but they think worshipers may have been staying away, thinking the building was too damaged or out of fear. The church says they are choosing, though, to respond with compassion for the driver who did all this damage.
We feel bad for him. We don't want this to happen. He's a human being too. We pray, and like you said, like you saw now in the church, Father was saying it in our language, that we pray for him. We want him to be a better person. We want him to be in peace. We want him not to hurt others.
And that person is 51-year-old James Stanley. He was booked into jail, and we don't have details on what led up to the crash. Well, our heat is back. Have you noticed? Right in the middle of our long weekend. Chris Dunn is here with you. Look at your first weather. Chris?
Yeah, 109 today. We almost hit 110. 108 is our forecast high for Phoenix tomorrow. 110 for Havasu and Bullhead City. 100 in Kingman and 82 in Flagstaff. The good news is we do have tumbling temperatures through the week. Not necessarily tumbling, but they're trending downward because there will be more rain and more clouds around. Here's the rain outlook for tomorrow. For the excessive rain risk, it's low, but this is generally where the rain will be tomorrow. That's where it has been today, with some showers, some thunderstorms building up, strong enough to send out some gusty outflow winds that made it all the way into the valley. From this area north and northeast of Tucson, near Safford and Wilcox, Sierra Vista, getting some of that blowing dust. Now, I've really enhanced the radar here just to kind of show you where this outflow boundary is. You can kind of track it right there, right there, right there. As it passed by Sky Harbor Airport, a 30-mile-per-hour wind gust. Safford gusting up to 46, Tucson 40, Mesa Gateway Airport 5 miles visibility. That was the worst it got with this 31-mile-per-hour wind gust in Coolidge 30 and Falcon Field in Mesa, a 24-mile-per-hour wind gust. Here in the valley, forecast highs for tomorrow. This is for your Labor Day. 105 in Maricopa, Scottsdale, 104 Cave Creek, 108 in Phoenix. However, as the week goes on, the heat will back off. Our rain risk ramps up, and we're talking about another monsoon surge this week. Actually, starting with tomorrow, we'll have some of those gusty storms rolling off the Mogollon Rim and then pushing in some of that moisture into the valley. Possibly a shower or two. We'll take a look at Futurecast in your 7-day coming up. Troy?
All right, Chris, we'll see you again in a few minutes. If you watch the show Love Island, which is very popular, it's a reality show, you're probably going to recognize the name of this guy who just took a big fall in the rodeo here in town. Love Island star of the current season, Taylor Williams, took that hard fall at the Arizona Invitational Black Rodeo in Scottsdale this weekend. TikTok video shows the horse tripping, falling right on top of Williams, and you know those animals are heavy. Officials rushed in to help as he was laying there on the ground. We have some other footage that shows him being taken away on a gurney, seen with his arm in a sling, and he left with another name you might remember, Clark Caraway, if you watch the show. And that's his partner from the same season of Love Island. So we're working on more information on the nature of his injuries and exactly what happened there. But he appears to be talking and in pretty good spirits.